Okay, hello everybody. It's Sharon and Sarah here from Content Sparks. And today we are talking business masterminds. So first I want to make a little apology because in my email where I talked about a special surprise we were going to have for you today that I was going to hold up and show you on screen never arrived in the mail. It was supposed to arrive yesterday and it didn't. So I will have to show it in a few days' time when I actually have it. And that is a physical version of the planner, which is going to be a giveaway for people who comment on this live stream. And we have another one next week as well. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to talk about that.
Yeah. So leave us a comment, even if it's just saying hello and you're watching us live and perhaps you want to say where you are, just leave the comment on Facebook and we'll do the draw so that you can see this fantastic physical planner. So if you can just imagine it, nice cover, very pretty, all lovely to touch, so if you can just visualize that, and when it arrives, Sharon will post a photo up on social media so that you know exactly what it is you're commenting to get.
Yes, so please, any kind of comments, and then we'll enter for that giveaway for the printed planner for planning your own business mastermind. And actually, when we get to the point of showing that in the expansion pack, maybe I'll open up the one that I customized a little bit to get printed and share where I got it printed, because I didn't get it printed in the usual place.
Hello, Moran, from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Thank you for joining us today. And hello, Tanisha. And we're really glad you're here with us live. Excellent. So thank you for saying hello. Where are you, Tanisha? If everyone's in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, I'm going to be very jealous.
Well, I am not in the Pacific Northwest.
Hello, Richard.
I'm in Colorado. I'm in what's Colorado considered? I guess it's the West. It's not Pacific though. I'm in the Rockies. So I'm in the Rockies. We have Sarah in the UK. Lena's in London.
Elena.
California. Excellent.
We could probably see each other out the window.
Houston.
Okay. California. That's great.
All right. We're going to keep an eye on those. So as I said, keep doing I was just seeing whether the giveaway got delivered. It did not, again, but I will show it later. And again, comment, say where you're from, anything, ask questions as we go through, and you'll be entered to get that printed version of the planner. And depending on where you are, either I will ship one, or you'll get mine, or you'll get Sarah's, which also hasn't arrived yet. All right, so let's talk about business masterminds, shall we? I'm going to start by jumping straight into my screen and showing you a few things from the course. So let us add this to the stream. Let me hide that. This is just the URL for the sales page, and I'm showing you the wrong sales page, but contentsparks.com/bizmastermind. So that's the page you're looking at, the course that we just launched. And now I will hide that banner since you don't need it yet. So this is just the page, and I'm going to be opening some of the different materials from it so we can talk about what a business mastermind is, some of the key things from the course, and look at the materials itself. All right. So what shall I open first? I think I was going to open the course book. This is the folder of materials you'll get. So there's student, instructor, and lead gen.
I think everyone's sick of me saying, show us the slides, show us the slides.
I'm not showing you the slides yet. Nope, I'm opening up the main course, but then I will jump to the slides. So create your profitable business mastermind, how to run a mastermind group that accelerates success. So that is the course. It goes through how to run why you should run a mastermind, talk about what it is. And first, before I go any further, let's just, in a very brief snapshot, say the difference between a mastermind group and other forms of groups. And the main thing people think about is, a mastermind group versus group coaching or community. And they are very different because group coaching is one-to-many and a mastermind group is peer-to-peer. So in group coaching, you are the leader facilitating the discussion, but you're guiding people on what you're going to talk about. It's got a distinct purpose. Everybody's on the same, focused on the same thing for the most part, but you are leading it and really guiding people and what they're going to, what you're going to talk about. Whereas in a mastermind group, that peer-to-peer, you really are just the facilitator. The discussion is going on amongst different people who are kind of mentoring each other. Here, let me hide this thing. It's very distracting. Oh, you put that in, Sarah.
While you were talking, I'm just reminding people they can get a copy of the planner just by leaving a comment. And they will
joy of StreamYard and having a co-host who has control.
Yeah. Say goodbye to me, everybody. I'm going to be sacked.
And a mastermind group has to be very small because everyone is talking about different issues. They're challenging each other. There's thinking. It can be different each time. There are a lot of famous people who have been in masterminds and come up with amazing ideas. People like Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, Benjamin Franklin. Those are all people who have been in masterminds or run masterminds and come up with incredible solutions, ideas, and whatnot. As a result of them, it's kind of a mini network of your own, the instant business network. It doesn't have to be business. We're talking about business masterminds in this course, but it could be other topics as well. So you'll see in the course, like I said, that it's business masterminds, but keep an open mind about how you would use it, because depending on your audience, you can easily tweak and customize it a bit. So the course is going to go through that step by step, why you should run it, how to identify your members, designing your mastermind. Here, can I make this bigger so you can see?
While you're doing that, Sharon.
Yes.
Can you jump to the plan? The
program structure?
Yeah. How does that differ from a course structure? Because we're all used to putting together courses and online courses, and we sort of get into the habit of doing certain things certain ways. So I'd be really quite interested to see the structuring of the mastermind and how that works, because quite frankly, I'm clueless on the mastermind front. Kevin does those.
Yeah, and most people don't really know what a mastermind is. They just think it's a group, like a community. So let's go through that. So in terms of the program structure, there are really two different things you want to think about: designing the mastermind and how to actually run it. So designing it isn't as complicated as you would think. You're planning your general structure. One big part is having really clear group rules as well, or you can go off onto all sorts of tangents. So in a course, an online course, you can actually have quite a lot of people, depending on whether you're doing workshops or having it self-paced. You can have endless number of people. Whereas in a mastermind, it has to be very small, because each person needs to have their space to be able to talk and share and get ideas. In our course, we say the ideal is 4 to 8 members. 8 is already, I would say maximum 8 to be able to really facilitate a discussion. So you have to think about things, how big the group is going to be, how long it's going to be run. Mastermind does not have to be an endless thing that goes on. Even those very successful ones sometimes do go on years at a time. You can start with just say 6 months. You have to think about how people are going to meet, because everyone has to be able to meet, or there isn't the value in it. How long, meeting, where they're going to take place, how they're going to take place, support mechanisms, all those sorts of things are really basics for a mastermind group. So it's less complicated than a course where you have to start thinking about the technology and learning activities and worksheets and all of that. You don't need that in a mastermind at all, because you're not leading it. It's peer-to-peer again. So you're not, and you don't have a set curriculum for a mastermind group like you do with a course. You don't have these learning outcomes. It's much more general. So you can have high level ones, a specific purpose, a specific market, all those different things, different general goals in it, like getting support to accomplish your goals, getting support. So they're all different things like that. You can make it a paid one or a free one. We really do talk about paid ones here, since the title is Create Your Profitable Business Mastermind.
I've got to say, Sharon, my mind's blown. The thought that it's less work than an online course. I'm like, I'm throwing out all my online courses and I'm solely going all in on the mastermind.
Well, they're a good add-on as something really high level VIP for a course, because people can go through the course and then they want to continue on and need support from each other. So you don't have to make it course focused. That would be more of a community where people are helping each other around the course, but it can be a mastermind around their business. And depending on your course topics are online visibility, the Online Visibility Academy. So you could have a mastermind group that's focused around that, and the courses are the support part of that. So you can just have your select VIPs who pay a nice big fee to be part of this very exclusive group, this exclusive mastermind, where they're talking about their different issues and opening up.
You hear that, Barb? We're leveling up. We've got people in our courses. Now we're going to mastermind them as well.
And Barb, you asked about the planner. So this is what you get for being late to Facebook Live. But I guess I'll tell you anyway. So the planner, they're in the expansion pack for this one. There's a premium planner for planning out your business mastermind. And it's one of those printables. And Barb, I know you did the printable, I think, on the Next Level website content, if I remember correctly, where you sent it, you did it on Amazon. So this is the same sort of thing. It's set up, but it's nice and beefy. And I actually, and Sarah sent it off to get printed. So we did our own customizations of it and sent it to be printed somewhere else at a site called, was it Docs Direct? Which was actually a lot easier to do because all I had to do was change the cover. I didn't have to use that separate template for a cover, and they printed it and sent it. It just didn't arrive yet. I had it all planned. I was going to show it. But basically, if you comment in here, we're going to do a drawing where we're going to send one person one of those printed planners, a physical copy of it. And depending on where you are, either I'll send one or Sarah will send one, or both of us will send to two different people, because we have another live stream coming on Wednesday. But that's a secret, so I'm not.
Yeah, that's a secret. Shh, we're not allowed
just for customers. Mm-hmm. So going back, I love this. Get paid for showing up and holding space. Yes, exactly. But you do have to facilitate the discussions, and that's where you play your role. You don't have to create learning activities and action steps and worksheets and slideshows and stuff, which is really nice, but you do have to show up. So some of the success factors are in the course: support, confidentiality, peer-to-peer collaboration. That's a big deal in a mastermind group versus any kind of group coaching or community. Learning, but learning from each other, inspiration from each other, keeping each other accountable, and networking is part of it too. So often in a mastermind group, you'll find that opportunities come up to work together with other people in the mastermind, which is why as a leader, you have to be very careful about who you have in your mastermind group. It's very small, only maybe 4 to 8 people, and you need to screen them. So there's a lot of this stuff in the course on how to do that. And on Wednesday, when we have our special guest expert who helps people run mastermind groups and be facilitators, she'll share a lot of tips on how you personally can add them to your business model. But this course is something that you can learn from and teach yourself. So it's our usual brandable stuff. So what else? You had asked me, Sarah, about the program structure. And that was very simple in terms of the meetings and stuff.
yeah, I just love that, not having to have learning objectives and worksheets. Now I know why my husband prefers these to courses, because he just shows up, and as Rosalind says, you paid for showing up and holding space and facilitating. I feel like I've just missed a whole great big chunk in the world.
Yeah, me too. Which means, you know what that means.
Yeah, Content Sparks Mastermind.
A real mastermind. Because
Yep.
now I've learned a lot about masterminds with this course too. And there is a whole section around recruiting and onboarding members, running it, evaluating your results. This is really the key part of it. So there's the structure part we talked about with how many people and what your rules are going to be, because there has to be a lot of confidentiality in this. It has to be a safe space. And who you bring on, and then there's who you bring on board. So there's the logistics, and then there's the members, recruiting the right people, how you're going to screen them, how you're going to market it and get people, application form. Sorry, I'm looking back and forth at my other monitor. What else did I want to see? Onboarding. Yeah, I'm just going to skim through.
That we haven't got, the planner that we haven't got, that I'm asking you to all imagine. I think that was great for onboarding, because it's something you can send to your new members. And if you've got 4 of them or 8 of them coming in at $500 a month, you can easily afford to send them a physical planner at $20. And it's something in their hands ready for when you do your first mastermind. Now, obviously, you wouldn't be saying how to run the mastermind in the planner. You would take those elements out, because you don't want them going off running their own masterminds with your content, not until they've paid their money for the course, you know. So you can adapt the planner so that it serves your meetings, like what the agenda is, they can take notes, what the outcomes are, what they want to follow up. So the planner is a really good tool. If you're a little bit confident with PowerPoint, you can easily duplicate the slides you want more of and delete the ones you don't want.
Yeah, so you would just use it as a template and then change the content in it, basically, because the planner you're getting in the expansion pack is for your students to be able to plan out their masterminds. But when you have your own mastermind group, you can give them a planner for going through each meeting and taking notes, preparing for it. So similar to maybe a coaching journal, but with some different elements to it as well. So that, you know, it's who's in the group, who said what. You could actually, this is a great, another bonus that you could do for your own students, now that I think about it. For running a mastermind, something that they can give to their mastermind members. So just another idea for adding on some extra uniqueness to your own course. So we have things like agendas, so hot seat. So I could see you putting together a planner where they take notes on who was in the hot seat and what their issues were and how you can help the other person. And then preparing for your turn in the hot seat when you're a mastermind member, when you're in a mastermind and it's your turn. So you could do some extra content on that, Sarah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I'm sure you were. So I'm not going to go, I don't think I'm going to go through any more on the course book. There are some ideas in here on facilitating it and your role as the facilitator. So keeping the momentum going, you have to encourage more contact. So you do have things to do. You're not just stepping back and watching everyone talk to each other and listening to them. You are facilitating the discussion. You have to ask questions, keep that discussion going, make sure you keep the structure, and encourage people to keep each other accountable as well. So that's all part of being a facilitator. All right. Encouraging people to meet outside so that people do set up their own collaborative ventures and stuff, keeping people to the rules. So those are all your roles as a facilitator. And of course, there's evaluating your results and getting feedback and looking at that. and what you need to change. So those are all things in this course where you're teaching people how to run a mastermind. And as usual, you can learn from it yourself and then teach others. All right.
Can we look at the expansion pack, Sharon? Sorry to be a pain.
Of course you
While
can.
Sharon's doing that, Jim says, looks great, doesn't it? It just really is exciting, I find it. Nettie says, sounds great, ladies. And the planner sounds like an amazing tool. Yeah, the wonderful things about the planner is they're so easy to customize. Just a little bit of PowerPoint and you can do incredible things. And Ron says, this sounds like a great tool. Absolutely. So I'm really, really quite excited for this one. I didn't think at first that I'd be able to do it, but now I see it's less work than courses. I want it.
And I don't want to show the expansion pack yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to show a couple other things that are in the course that are going to be really useful for you. So there's the usual action guide, which follows along with the action steps, but there's also a blueprint for a mastermind. So remember you asked about the program structure. This is where you can lay out your blueprint of your mastermind, right? So this is something you give to your students, you can use yourself and lay out all those different things in one place. So that's a really nice worksheet. I could also see this being a good thing as part of a lead magnet. Yeah. So if you do a little intro to masterminds and want people to start thinking about what's going to be in their mastermind, they could do this and then take the course because they want to learn more about all of this. All right. Because it's just 4 pages that you can beef up.
If it's just 4 pages, that makes a nice 5-day challenge. You do 1 page one day, 1 page the next, then the next, then the next, and then you sell them the mastermind training.
Exactly. You just give them a little bit about each, about the importance of each. So it's actually pulling out one lesson from the course, which is a great way to do another form of lead magnet. You're doing kind of a mini course, which is what a challenge is, basically. It's a mini course. There's also a candidate checklist. So this is when you need to find people to be in your mastermind. Again, it's very exclusive, so you have to be careful. So you have a checklist of that. And then there's a screening questionnaire. And that's where we're going to go into the expansion pack in a second, because there's more on this in there. But this is the stuff that you need initially to actually ask people questions before you decide whether they're a good fit for your mastermind. So there's a bunch of questions in there, and you can add your own. So I just wanted to point those out because they're extra guide. All right.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Joanna's got a question. She said, is this meant to be taught in person or online or both? Sorry, jumped on a tad late. Well, glad you're here, Joanna. I would say you can do all of it. You can teach it in person or online or both or a combination of, as in you can have elements that you teach online, but some of it you teach face to face.
Yeah, these days, everything's about online learning and virtual and distance. So you can do a lot online versus in person. And our courses are all set up so you can do either or. So when we have a slideshow, there's space in there to have a little debrief where you bring a group together again, you send them off to do their work, bring them together again and have a discussion and have questions. But when you do it online, if you're, say, doing it recorded, they're not going to be going off and you're not going to be debriefing live in person in a classroom, but you could do it as a live session afterwards. So the blended learning model works really well here, where people go and do their own stuff, their own work on their own through a nice recorded video where it doesn't have to be live. There's isn't necessarily a reason to do it live. And then you bring them together again to a live session and a Q&A. But it is great to have people in person too when you're ready to do that as a workshop or in a meetup or seminar or something like that, when you're ready to do in person again. And you just have to adjust it so that when people need more time to do a certain activity, they do part of it in the classroom and then they'll have to do the rest afterwards. So that's something you want to look at any of the online courses, which things people need more time for. And in online, you can do breakout sessions too. And things like Zoom, they have that ability to do a breakout session where you put people into different rooms. They work during that time. You say, set a timer and keep things live. And you can even go into the rooms and answer questions and check on progress. And there are other learning platforms that do that too. I just can't think of it offline. Yeah, blended learning model is the best. Okay. So let's keep going. You asked about the expansion pack. Oh, hang on. Barb has a question first. Since the members make or break a mastermind, do you point out resources to help mitigate? I assume you mean mitigate some of the problems that can show up. Well, that's, part of the role of a facilitator. And in that case, I would say first you ask the other members if they have resources for a problem, because you always want to be getting that discussion going between the members in your mastermind. And then you can jump in, because it's not your role to answer the questions. It's your role to facilitate the group interacting with each other. All right. But you have to, do some work as well. You can't completely sit back, Sarah, and do nothing.
Oh,
I know you
I don't
want
love this as much now. I only half love it.
No, but the thing is, with the facilitator, your biggest thing is asking questions and getting that discussion going between the different members. All right. And we have that in our VIP group, our VIP live group. Often the answers come from the other members of the group. So it's a semi-mastermind in there.
I think one of the most powerful questions that you can ask that heads off all trouble is when somebody asks a question that is, in your opinion, deliberately disruptive and intentionally out to cause trouble, is you can say, what's the thinking behind asking that question? And then they either withdraw the question because they don't actually want to say, I'm just being a plonker and wanting to cause trouble, or you find that they're not actually trying to cause trouble. They have a genuine not quite connecting the dots. And then they come out and say things like, well, if somebody does this and it leads to that, and then you get the thought process that leads to the question, and it gives you a much broader understanding. And as Sharon's pointed out, it is up to us as facilitators to ask better questions and question the things that may be potentially disruptive, because quite often in the case of where we see it as a problem or a disruption or a complete interference is somebody's not quite connected the dots, or they've come in late and they're partially embarrassed that they've come in late and they're asking something that's already been, for those explaining plonker, I forgot, sorry. Yeah, so I do think it's really important. And Sharon, is the facilitation skills on offer as well?
I can't remember. Whoops.
If we're actually helping to do Mastermind, there it is, facilitating with confidence. So if this is something that you're serious about doing and your own facilitation skills need leveling up, then you can pick this one up and it's on offer as well, so that you can facilitate better.
Yeah. And this is the facilitation skills course, Facilitating with Confidence, is not just for this, something like a mastermind group. It's facilitation skills for any type of group work. So in-person workshops, webinars, conference calls and meetings, conclusions. There's some other things. So this will help with facilitation skills in all sorts of different situations. As is Barb, I can't remember offhand how it deals with difficult situations, where people are being disruptive. And
I
that's
think,
where you do, like you said, you have to really screen carefully who the members are.
I think screening and grabbing, asking that question, what's the thought process? How did you come to that? And understanding better, because sometimes it can be a language thing, particularly if you've got an international group. I mean, I've just used the word plonker. And if we were in an international mastermind, some of the room would get where I was coming from, and the other half of the room would be scratching their heads. So if somebody said, Sarah, you've used the word plonker there. That's a really interesting terminology. Why did you use that one and not something else?
Right.
Then,
Or can you give me some background on that question? Give the group some background. Remember, it's about the group, not about you personally answering it. What's behind that question?
yeah.
And if somebody's being constantly disruptive, you're going to have to kick them out.
Yeah, I
That
think
gets a little tricky.
that
Maybe let the group vote them out.
It can
like
be
reality TV.
Survivor, Big Brother, reality mastermind. If you don't participate, you get voted out by your peers at the end of the session. Or is that just me being wicked? Has Sharon froze? Have I froze? Let me just pop over to Facebook. Can somebody leave a comment and let us know if this is still going?
I'm back.
Oh, she's back. Yes.
What happened? I don't know whether everyone else, it froze for everyone right now.
Well, I wasn't sure whether it was me or you.
It was just me. Okay, so in other words, whatever you just said for the last minute or so, I completely missed.
It was, have we frozen? Somebody leave a comment and let us know if we can still hear us. And oh my gosh, I'm going to have to run over to Facebook. She's back. Yes, she is, Mitzi.
I don't know.
So let's get back into the profitable masterminds.
Okay, let's
get the expansion pack. Can we see your planner, Sharon?
Can I show you something else first? Because I'm going to keep that planner for the very end, because there's another big thing in the expansion pack. Now, remember, there's the main course and then there's the expansion pack. So you don't have to get the expansion pack in order to run the course. We put everything you need in the course. The expansion pack has some extras, including an interview guide and script, which is going to be really helpful, Barb, for what you were talking about and really screening people. And then there's that premium planner, which Sarah and I both got customized and printed ourselves, and we're doing as a giveaway for people that comment. So we're going to do a drawing on that. So the interview guide and script is great because, again, this is something you would give to your students, right, who are learning to create a mastermind, and that you could use yourself if you're doing a mastermind first. And there are two parts. There's an application form that you want to give to people, and then you're going to have a one-on-one conversation with people. So there's some worksheets. There's a checklist in here of things you need to do. There's things to prepare. So you're going to prepare for each candidate, look at the screening questionnaire and what you want to ask them, some notes on each, why you think any of them would be a good fit. So you're really going to do your legwork before you accept someone in and form that mastermind. How are they going to fit together? What each person can contribute. You want to look at the process and make sure everybody's on board with the times and stuff like this and what you need to change. So this is the logistics stuff so that everyone can attend any meetings. Being confident about announcing the price. Making it easy to say yes. So these are all really great things that you're going to need to do to screen your candidates and decide who's going to be in there and how it's going to work. Some of those other program structure things. And then there's a little checklist in there. What else is in here? Wow, there's a lot in here. There's actually 22 pages in this. It keeps getting bigger. There's questions for actually running your discussion, your questionnaire. What are your goals? Oh, so these are questions that you would ask when you have your conversation with someone to see if they're a good candidate for the mastermind. Things like how much do you want to help others in the group? What do you have to offer? What's your experience in supporting peers if they've never, what increased income? And you, depending on what the purpose of the mastermind is and the theme in there, you would make it different. You just tailor these questions. All right. And then that's it on that. But we also have a script, a sample script in here, so that you get an idea of some wording. And this you'd again tailor for your students, but it gives them some different ideas of questions and how the discussion could go and how they could finish up that discussion. So that's a really nice thing to use as in your expansion pack as a bonus and to add on to that module where they look at the selection of their mastermind members. And then there is that premium planner, which you have been waiting for, Sarah.
I have. I've been waiting.
There are 2 sizes to it. And then it comes in PowerPoint. And then there's also a cover template. So if you want to submit it to something like KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, that's what used to be CreateSpace. So that's where you can get something actually printed and maybe have it sent to you and you send to a student, or actually have it for sale and make sure that you have your call to action for your course in there so you can get some leads for your course that way. And I'll just open it up to show you. So you can see that we did it in A4 and in letter size. So UK, US, depending on where you are, different in different parts of the world. You might have to get the different fonts or replace them in here. This is just an image placeholder in here. You would want to put your own in, and I'll show you what I did. And then there's, where it says Sharon Sheldon, obviously you're going to put information about you instead, and a little bit about you. And then there's text that you can edit if you want. You can change some images. These are all images from inside PowerPoint. So you can put your own ones in, but these are free built into PowerPoint. And then it follows some of the stuff in the course, but it has details and spaces for them to do more detailed planning. There's actually 105 slides in here, so pages with a little bit of information from the course as well, and places to put your rules. So it expands on the action guide and the checklist. And then there's actual planning of, here are the places for your contacts and figuring out who you would be able to tap into for possible members. And then the 12-month planner. 12-month?
No, I think it's 3 months or 6 months.
Oh no, I just found an edit that needs to be made. Oh no! Anyone who got the expansion pack already, you need to edit that to be, I think it's 3 months. Eek. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 months.
The pages to make it a 12-month planner.
Yeah, you could duplicate it instead of being 105 pages, but I'm pretty sure we have it as month 1, month 2, and month 3. Yeah, with notes at the end. So Fiona, if you're listening to this, we need to edit that and re-upload it. This is the joy of going through this, right? So let me show you mine. And what I did. And remember, if you make comments in here during this live stream, you will be entered to get a printed copy of this planner yourself, whether you're in the US or UK.
Sharon's one you will get is US letter size. The one that whoever wins my one is smaller. It's A5, which is handbook size. No?
All right, so mine is A4 because I got it printed through Docs Direct, which is in the UK, because it was much easier to do it there because I was only ordering like 3 copies, and they don't do letter size. But you can do it in the US for other, US sites, or do it on KDP and use the cover template that we give you. So mine is A4, and it doesn't matter because you just have a printed copy and you're taking notes. And then Sarah's is A5, which is smaller. So let me show you what mine looks like.
Just trying to think.
Yeah, I had to do it as A4, Sarah.
Yeah, mine is this size. This isn't the planner you're going to get. There are no llamas on the planner that I've got, but it is the size of a paperback book. It's not an A4, which is a much bigger. It's a sheet of paper size.
So this is A4, so it's bigger. I decided to do as A4 because I wanted people to have more room. So I took it, I created this image in Canva, and all I did was plonk it on here. I had to use the word. Plop it on here as the cover. And then I went through and I left most stuff the same. I added my picture and some stuff about me. I kept those fonts. I have my signature in there. I kept most of the stuff the same because I was doing this really quickly. I wanted to just get it out there and get it printed and show you what you can do. You can make it color. I was doing black and white to keep the cost down. And also, you know, it's just easier on the eyes for some people, but you can make these color just by highlighting them. Here, I have the PDF open, but you do it in PowerPoint. You convert it to PDF before you send it to the printer. So here I could have just changed things like this to my, let's see, my design, my colors. Over on the right here, I can change it to my Content Sparks colors, right? And that did it everywhere, changed it to my colors. So I kept it black and white, but that's what you can do to keep it even more branded. And then you would just have to pay a little bit extra to put it into your colors as well.
On Amazon, it's about a third extra for color. And if you're printing it through a local printer, print on demand, it's almost twice as much for color. So, you know,
so just consider that, depending on how much you're doing. If you're charging enough for for your students, for your course, and you want to give this to them as really premium, then do it in color. You know, they're paying you a lot, so you can give them something bigger. And yeah, as we said, smarter locally. This sounds great. It will give an extra dimension to coaching or membership. Yep, absolutely. So I didn't change much else. I think I might have changed something in the review. So I was just playing with it and I changed. I wanted to show you that in here, these images are just, like I said, just built into PowerPoint. So you can either take a different one from PowerPoint or just change it out to something else. You could design something cool in Canva if you wanted to. But again, if you comment and stuff, you'll go into a drawing to get the one that I got printed, which was this PDF. And Sarah, do you have the URL for that company where we got ours printed, Docs Direct? Because it was just so easy to do it that way. And even though it was from the UK, it still made sense on a lower volume for me to get it done there and have it shipped to me, because their shipping so long as you spend a certain amount, was really cheap. And all I had to do on that was change this first page and create it as a PDF and upload that. So you didn't have to do the whole thing with fiddling with a template and bleed and edges and margins and stuff. They do it. And I got I think spiral bound or coil bound. So that's a really good,
Sharon, that I printed for you last summer, because that came from Docs Direct.
I
think it's on your shelf.
This one?
Yeah, that came from Docs Direct.
And this is A5, right?
Yep, A5. Oh, that's not the Content Sparks one. That's my one, isn't it?
Okay, so the Content Sparks one. It's like I'm wheeling away here. Is this one, but it's not coil bound. So this one is paperback bound, and it's a whole book. This was the 10-day course challenge. It's not a planner. But your one, the goal one, is coil bound. and has room. How you did like lines and stuff.
Yeah. I like the coil band because you can open it up on your desk. You don't have to worry about breaking the spine and things like that. So
you can do something like that where it flips around, which I really like. That's why I got mine done that way too. I don't know if I got the white. I think I might have gotten the silver. You can figure out different colors. And then, and again, you'll see mine, the one has this sort of cover. I was a little hesitant about using a people one with Canva and doing this. You do get the rights to use it commercially, but just be careful of that, and be careful because depending on who your audience is, you want to be inclusive. And it's really, really, really hard to find images of people that are diverse and inclusive enough. Like unbelievably difficult. So in that case, sometimes it's better to go with either just your logo and some cool fonts like that, or some other graphics. All right. Elena, assume when you say you were thinking the same thing about diversity and stuff with using people, it's just, I've spent hours sometimes, it seems, trying to find pictures that are not just of white men. In business suits,
And Michael's just saying it's great to show the true product while getting to people to sign up. I think printing the course and showing what they're getting is a great choice. Yes, is it Konami or Kanaki in the US that prints courses? I can't remember the exact name, but you send your course materials once you've edited them, and they print them and put them in ring binders and dispatch them out to people.
You can do that at Staples probably, or pretty much any of the printing services. There are a lot. You can put them in binders. Way, way back in the day when I worked in investment banking, it was the role of the menial associates to sit there at 1 a.m. and put things into binders and punch holes. I'm so glad we don't do that anymore.
Nettie says the printing info would be great as you're in the UK. Well, brilliant. Docs, DOX, direct.com. We're not affiliates. They just, they're just as cheap as chips and print fast.
Whoops. Wait, why is that not showing? There. So late to the table, but I can print these on demand. I assume you mean the planners. So these planners are in the expansion pack. And remember, this one I'm showing is just my edited version of it. You'll get one that's generic. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can print them on demand. We give you the cover template, so you can create a cover, and you've got the PowerPoints. You just save them as PDFs and upload them. If you do it via Docs Direct, it's a little bit more expensive than Amazon, but it's a faster print run. So you can put your order in today and have it on your desk on Monday morning. Unless, of course, you're me or Sharon, in which case you're still waiting a couple of days after that. But the good news is we get free Haribos with them, Haribos, and that makes up. Yeah, they send you little packets of Haribos with your planners.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll do that for the US too.
I hope so.
And for people who don't know what that is, those are the little gummies, right?
Yep. The little stars and the fried eggs and the little teddy bears.
Yeah, we don't have those in the US, so that would be really special.
Oh no!
Unless we get something else, gummy bears.
Gummy bears, you might, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. So in the US, it does take longer because they told me that it would arrive on June 2nd, yesterday, and I did only order it last week before I went away, and they said it takes 2 days to do the printing. And then they ship it. But it was a holiday weekend, both here and in the UK. So I guess it took a little longer. And when they said June 2nd, they actually meant it would arrive in the US sorting facility on June 2nd. And I'll actually get it on Saturday, which is still amazing compared to Amazon KDP. Because Barb, if you're still here, if you remember, I think it took a few weeks to get
3 or 4 weeks.
To actually get your printed copy.
And with the next level content, I think my next level content is here. Here it is. My next level content planner. We popped that in for coming up on Amazon. We popped that in on the 24th of September, and the product launch was November, and it got approved something like 2 days before by Amazon. We had to wait 5 weeks. I mean, it's brilliant. You can see all of the inside. You can see the fonts that we use. We use them consistently throughout all the planners, and you can see it's all nicely done. It just took forever on Amazon. And when you've got members of your mastermind and you're recruiting people, and if you're doing this as a really nice high level thing, to have them in your hand sooner, it's worth paying for Docs Direct. And they do become cheaper when you order larger numbers, because we're ordering one at a time so that we can show them on the calls. It's a little more expensive. I think mine worked out at about £14, about $18.
Yeah. I think mine actually worked out less. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, because you had more of them.
No, I ordered 3 so that I could get the reduced shipping. Otherwise, it was going to cost a lot in shipping.
Yeah, so this is the A5 one. I've got an A4 one, but it's not easily to hand. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can. No,
A4 is just similar to letter size. It's just a little higher and a little narrower. I can't remember the exact dimensions because you guys use centimeters, and we're the only people in the world who still use inches.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh no. And you had to you ordered it and then they canceled it. You're kidding. Ugh. All right. So, well, you've already ordered them, but Barb, you might want to try this Docs Direct. The only thing is, Sarah, can you do a back cover on there? I didn't even try.
Yep, you can. Let me just share screens a moment.
And Nettie said it's also a great VIP day gift idea. I like that too. Yeah, and because you're only going to do a few, you can order a bunch, and you could and then personalize them and write in each one of them a little note to the person, so they always have that on their desk. Yeah, I think there was a thing where you say back cover white, but the nice thing is you just send them one PDF. And you don't have to do a whole separate template. So it's really simple to do for those of us who are a little more challenged, because I did attempt to figure it out on other sites and I didn't have time. I gave up.
Yeah, there's hardbacks.
But they don't do letter size, if I remember. They only do A4. But I don't think that makes any difference at all when you're giving something printed. It's not like when you're sending people a PDF that they have to print out, because in the US they wouldn't have A4 paper. You're sending them something physical and printed.
So,
and for those of you who may have come on a little bit late, this is something that's in the expansion pack for our new course on Business Mastermind. So it's something that you would give to your students or your VIPs or your own. If you have a mastermind about masterminds or something like that, you can give them that for a planner as a little bonus.
So A5 hardback in portrait with 105 pages, 1 copy in black and white with a gloss laminated cover is £14.36, which is about $18.
Yep. But was there a back cover?
I think
I thought there was an option.
As if we upload files, it gives us the option, because it'll take us through it in other detail. If we wanted it in paperback, A5.
I don't have a back thing, but you had one on the next level. Contemplate, because it's nice to have the back as well with your information, so that you have information about you in the beginning, but it's nice when they flip it over and they have the picture of you and information and a URL as well. So it's good to do that. So
it's £11.25, about $15 if you have it in paperback. So it works out not a lot more to have it in hardback, which has a nicer feel. It gives over the weightiness. And, you know, when I have a hardback book, I like reading. I like reading a lot. Yesterday, I was in the hot tub. I got this brand new book.
Here we go. Oh, no.
A guy called Corey, talking about storytelling, because you doing all this story stuff, Sharon. I've been like story mad, reading all of the books. So I'm in the hot tub with my paperback, and Kevin comes over, and I said to him, do you want to get in the hot tub? And he said no. So he leans over, and I tried to pull him in, and I knocked my book in. Right? It's totally ruined my lovely book on storytelling. I've found over the years, when you drop a hardback in the bath or in the hot tub, you've got more chance of it being readable when it dries out.
Okay, bonus of doing hardback books, dropping it in the hot tub.
Or dropping it in the swimming pool.
Hot tub proof. I think on that note, we should start wrapping up here. All right, everyone. So this is the URL for the new course on business masterminds, how to create your profitable business masterminds. If you commented, we will do a drawing, if you commented on the live stream, to do that printed planner. If you really want to go there, Michael, you can have a personalized pen and highlighter to include. I love that idea as well. Whatever you can do. And remember, if this is for your VIPs, you're just doing a few, it's worth spending the money. It's not a lot of money to do those little perks, and it's really special for people. So don't do it for everyone necessarily, unless you're charging a nice big fat fee, and then it's definitely worth it. All right. And then it's sitting on their desk. So if you commented, you're going to get a copy. We're going to be entering you in a drawing to do a printed copy that we got printed, Sarah and I. So depending on where you are, and otherwise head over and get the course. Where to go? This is the page with the URL, contentsparks.com/bizmastermind. While it's on sale, you'll see an upsell suggested. I like to call it a suggested add-ons page, not an upsell, because you don't have to have these, but they're really useful. And that has the expansion pack that has that planner that we showed you in it, so you can customize it and get it printed on something like Docs Direct, and a few other goodies in there to help you with screening. And there's a bonus that goes with that if you get both, the Trello board, which we didn't talk about, so you'll have to explore that. And then there's a couple other courses that are useful as well that you can add on to help people. As some of them may want to do group coaching as well, because you could have group coaching and then have mastermind too. They are different though. And that, I think, is everything. There is information about the expansion pack too. All right. So I'll look out, and Sarah will look out for any other questions you have. Just pop them in here. If you're a customer already, or if you actually already are a customer, or you buy this, look out for my email next week with a link to a special Facebook Live that we're doing next Wednesday with someone who is an expert on masterminds and who helps people start their own and become really excellent facilitators of mastermind groups. So that's exclusive to customers that'll be in that group. Quick last question we have, does it touch on pricing? Yes, absolutely. There is a section on pricing. I think I closed the document already, but let me find it. Let me open that up and find the course book. So I think it was in maybe the program structure. How long? Name it. You want to name it. And then how to price it. So there's stuff on pricing, which is not really that complicated. Cost, time, profit equals price, right? So there's some information about that. If you really want a lot of detail about pricing any kind of product or service, we have a separate course, a smaller one called Profitable Pricing. So this touches on pricing your mastermind group, which can be all different things, but we also have that smaller specialized course. All right. And Ron just bought both. Yay, Ron. Awesome. All right. Let us know any questions. I'm going to wrap it up. And again, customers, and if you buy this, look out for my email on Tuesday, I think it is, with that link. And make sure you join the customer Facebook group and put your name that's on the order so that we can make sure that you're accepted into that group for when we do that special live stream next Wednesday, that kind of bonus training. All right, take care, everybody, and talk soon. We'll look out for your comments. Bye now.